Good morning, student. I'm Purnima and I'm going to revise the same lesson, The Fight, written by Ruskin Bond, with you people. And before that, I welcome you all in my class. Now, children, Ruskin Bond, I think if you will remember, we have done one more lesson written by Ruskin Bond. And what do you remember the name of the lesson? Yes, the name of the lesson is A Short Monsoon Diary. So we have done this is the second lesson we are doing of Ruskin Bond, and if your school reopens, lot of live in the library, we are having very good collections of the stories of Ruskin Bond, and please issue those books and try to go through it. You will really feel how nicely, how in a simple language and with full of emotion he has written those short story book. Now, so children, before starting the lesson, let me revise the important points with you. So first of all, children, The Fight, once again I tell you, it is written by Ruskin Bond and it is between two boys. Okay, how two boys met. They were enemy, they were not able to, they don't want to see each other, they had a nice fight. Okay, but afterward what happened, that they became a very close friend. So this is a nice story. The message of the story is also very good, that I will be telling you after reading the story. So first, the important points which I want to revise you of this lesson. So Ranji had been in Raipur, where he discovered a pool in the forest. So children, Ranji was a boy and he came to in a summer vacation. He came to Raipur and he was alone there. He did not have any friends. So once what happened, he discovered a pool of fresh water in that hot day. And children, he wanted to swim in that pool. He had no friend and he used to wonder about a good deal alone. And so children, a strong stream, okay, a small stream flowed out from rocks to feed the pool. Now, children, Ranji was very thin, supple and fat-free person. So when he discovered that pool, it was inviting, it was cool, transparent, fresh water was there in that pool, and he felt that he should be plunging in that water and he should be swimming in that water. So children, he swam, and then next day also he came again to the forest pool. Children, there were rocks and sand at the shore of the pool, at the children's side of the pool. So he lay there for some time upon the rocks, and then he noticed another boy was there who was a sturdy, was a bit healthy, okay, strong. That boy was looking at him in a very hostile manner. Hostile, I told, in a very ill will, rude manner he was looking at him. The other boy was Suraj. So what was the name of the other boy? His name was Suraj. He was much more taller than Ranjit. He was older. And children, the thing was that he was much more stronger than Ranjit. He said that it was his pool and he always swam alone. So what did he tell? He told that it was his pool and he always swam alone. He called himself a warrior. Now he told that he is a warrior and he came there to swim alone. He did not want to see anybody there. This he told to Ranjit. Now Ranjit was also a very brave boy. He did not afraid from him, though he was a very strong, tall and healthy boy. He knew he can beat him. But then also Ranjit was not scared with him. He said it, he was not a villager but a fighter. Now children, Ranjit told that when the boy commented him that I don't want to talk and fight with villager, Ranjit told he is not a villager first of all. He is a fighter. Now that boy told him to run away from that pool. Ranjit refused to run away. He told, I am not going to move out from that pool. He threw a challenge to his adversary. In fact, children, he threw a challenge to his adversary. The warrior slapped Ranjit with force. Now children, warrior was not able to tolerate all this thing and he was a strong boy also. With all his force, he gave a tight slap to Ranjit. His fingers marks were there on his cheek. And children, Ranjit also hit back with his bony fist into the other's face. He also hit him on the face, Ranjit. But since he was not very strong, he was thin. So children, uh, his slap was not as strong as that boy whose name was Suraj. Well, children, the two started grappling. It was a violent struggle. Now next day also there was a fight. There was a nice fight between them. Two started grappling. There was a violent struggle between the two boys. The fight continued even to the water. Now children, by fighting and fighting, they went to the water also, and there also they continued their fight. Neither emerged victorious. Children, nobody came as a victorious. That means Ranjit was no lesser brave than that boy. The warrior deferred the fight for the next day. Now children, the warrior told that for the next first day, a few days, they will uh, defer the fight for the next day. Ranji promised to come. Now Ranji was not a boy who would like to show his back. He also challenged. He has taken his challenge. He told he will come, surely come, and he is also prepared to fight from him. He had got cut on his face, legs, and arms. Children, while fighting with that boy, Ranjit had got a lot of cut on his face and arms, okay, on his legs, and his condition was not very good. Now that evening he went to the bazaar. Now children, that evening that boy Ranji, he went to the bazaar. Okay, he had got he ate jalebis and drink lemonade. Jalebis he wanted to have for having more energy, because jalebi is full of sweet thing. It's very sweet. He saw his adversary coming down the road. Now children, when he was eating all the jalebis and lemonade, he was drinking lemonade. So he saw that his enemy was coming, his adversary is coming from the other side of down the road. Both looked angrily at each other. Now children, both looked angrily at each other. He was feeling weak and lazy after the previous day fight. Now children, due to fight, Ranjit was feeling weak and lazy due to previous day fight, but he could not back out of the challenge, but he did not want to run out from the challenge. He knew he was no match to him, but he refused to accept defeat. Ranji knew that that boy is much more stronger, and his height is also very good. He himself was considering himself that he is no match for him, but he don't want to show his back. He was a brave boy, and children, he accepted the challenge in a very nice manner. Now, Ranji was aware of one thing, that that boy was no match to him, but he refused to accept defeat also. He thought that as long as he will fight, he had the right to the pool in the forest. Now Ranji told that he will not show his back, and as long as he will be doing fight, definitely that boy cannot stop him to the pool. He can go and he can swim in the pool. He had got full right to swim in the pool. Well children, both waited for the next day. The time has come where both had to fight. Okay, so next day the time has come where two of them stood on either bank of the stream. Ranji challenged him to swim and come to his side. Now children, it was Ranji this time who challenged him. He told him to come and swim and come to this side. He was superior to Suraj in swimming. Now children, when Suraj saw that he is challenging him to come and he was also prepared for the fight. So Suraj was, children, he was a bit nervous, because once he had seen that Ranjit, of course, he was a very good swimmer. He was much more superior in swimming, and he could dive easily. This was not Suraj was not good at swimming. So Suraj realized that he is really very good in swimming. Ranjit could swim underwater. He guided Suraj how to dive and swim underwater. Now children, the best quality of Ranjit was that he could swim underwater also, and it was he could swim easily. Ranjit could swim underwater. He guided Suraj how to dive and swim underwater. Now when Suraj was not able to swim, he was not able to dive, it was Ranjit who told him how to swim underwater. Thus he fought his opponent. Now children, Ranjit acknowledged that Suraj was a wrestler. Now children, Suraj, he thought in his mind at how well he is swimming and so many tactics he know about diving also. In fact, he just praised him in his mind, but he did not show to him. And while as children, Ranjit acknowledged the fact that he is a very good wrestler. He did not say, but he knew secretly that he is a very good wrestler. Suraj promised to make Boni Ranjit a Pahalwan. Now, children, when Ranjit gave him some tips about swimming, how to dive, how to swim underwater, Suraj was also happy. He told that though he is a skinny fellow, he is a thin fellow, but he would also teach him some tips and he will make him Pahalwan, that means wrestler. Well, children, from then onwards, the two became friends. Okay, in that moment was born love and understanding between them, and they owned the pool jointly thereafter. Afterward, children, that pool of water was claimed by both of them. They became the owner of the pool. So how nice this story is there, children. Here Ruskin bond focus on friendship, and children, we should always respect talent. Whatever the capability and talent of other people are, we should respect and we should try to learn. We should try to get new ideas from them. Like children, Suraj, he was earlier he bet Ranjit like anything, but next day, children, when Ranjit himself told that he will teach him some tips how to dive, Suraj was very happy, and children, he dropped the idea to fight. Instead, he decided that he would become friend with Ranjit and he would also teach him some tricks of wrestling to him. And not only that, he did not object it. So, in fact, he told that we both will become the owner of the pool. So, children, such nice ideas were there with both the children. Now, so children, now I am going to start the explanation part. All the main points I have revised with you, and I am here as page number 47. So children, both had a fight. I was here at this point. Both fighted with each other. It was Suraj who gave a tight slap to Ranjit with full force, that all his fingers were printed on his cheek. His cheek became red. They were red color finger marks on the cheek of Ranjit. But then also he did not lose hope. He fighted. He was ready to accept the challenge of Suraj. Okay. There you are, explained his assailant. Will you be off now? Now again he shouted, will you be off from here now? For answer, Ranjit swung his arm up and pushed a hard bony fist into the other face. And children, he also pushed his hard bony fist into the other face. And then they were at each other's throat. Now the worst thing happened. There was a nice fight started between these two. Swaying on the rock, tumbling onto the sand. So sometimes they were swaying. Swaying means moving to and fro. Sometimes children, they were swaying on the rocks, okay, and sometimes they were tumbling. They were tumbling means falling on the sand. So I would like to write the some meaning, children, and you can note it down. So tumbling means and swaying means to and fro. That means to move like this. Okay. Then one other word is also there. Desperate means hopeless. Okay. So children, a fight started with both of them. They were at each other's throat. Swaying means they were moving on the rock. Tumbling on the sand, they fall on the sand several times. Rolling over and over while wrestling, children, they roll also over and over. So they were doing that only. Their legs and arms locked in a desperate, violent struggle. So their legs, their and arms, they were children. Their legs and arms locked in a desperate, violent struggle. So the meaning of desperate I have written hopeless. Gasping and cursing. So they were gasping, that means children, they were breathing hard, they were cursing each other. Clawing, okay, clawing means children, they were tearing, okay. Clawing means tearing. And cursing means to abuse, okay. Not only that, they were slapping also each other. So whatever they can do, whatever the children do in a fight, they were doing all that thing. They rolled into the shallows of the pool. Shallow is not deep water. So children fighting and rolling and rolling. Finally, they went reached to the shallow of the pool. Even in the water, the fight continues as spluttering and covered with mud. And children, spluttering means speaking quickly or confusedly. So children, in the water also, the fight did not stop. They continue their fight. Okay, the water was covered with mud, and they groped for each other's head and throat. Groped means searched. So we can write the meaning of groped. Okay, meaning of groped is searched. So children, you can see that the fight was they did not want to stop the fight. The fight was continued and continued. Even in the water, they were continuing their fight. They groped for each other's head and throat, but after 5 minutes of frenzied, unscientific struggle, neither boy had emerged victorious. Now, children, 5 minutes of frenzied means violent. So, children, the 5 minutes of violent struggle, children, it was an unscientific struggle. Neither boy had emerged victorious. Nobody had won. Nobody was the loser. Both were equal in fight. So you can see children, Ranjit, though he was a thin boy, but he did not lose hope. Even he accepted his challenge and he was continuing his fight with full hope. Their bodies heaving with exhaustion means fatigue. They were very much tired now. They stood back from each other, making tremendous efforts to speak. Now, children, tremendous means great. They wanted greatly to speak with each other. Now do you realize I'm a warrior? Gasped the stranger. Now children, that boy finally he told, now you must have realized that I am a warrior. So in reply, Ranjit also told with difficulty, do you also know I am a fighter? They gave a moment concentration to each other's answer, and in that moment of silence there was only their heavy breathing and the rapid beating of their hearts. So children, they were both considering whatever they have said. In that moment of silence, they could only hear the beating. They could hear the fast, rapid beating of their heart. Rapid means fast, and heavy breathing can be heard in between. Then you will not leave the pool, said the warrior. Now warrior told, oh, that means you don't want to leave the pool. I will not leave it. Ranjit told him straight away, I will not leave it. Then we shall have to continue the fight, said the other. Now he also told that we will have to continue our fight. All right, said Ranjit. Now Ranjit was not nervous. He also accepted the challenge which he had told him. He told, okay, if you want to continue the fight, even I am not showing my back, even I would like to continue the fight. But neither boy moved. But children, nobody moved for the fight and took the initiative to fight. The warrior had an inspiration. We will continue the fight tomorrow. Now children, warrior was not a, he was must have made of very hard stuff. So he told that we will continue our fight tomorrow. He said, if you dare to come here again tomorrow, we will continue the fight. Now he told, if you still dare to come after having this fight, if you are still interested to fight, we will come. You can come tomorrow and we will continue the fight. And I will not show you mercy as I have done today. Now children, at the same time he told, and this time I have showed you mercy, that I am not going to show you the next day. I will come tomorrow, said Ranjit. I will be ready for you. Now children, Ranjit was not he was also a very, what to say, he was also a very good fighter. He told, even I don't want to show you my back. I will come tomorrow. I am ready to accept your challenge. I am ready to fight. They turned from each other then, and going to their respective rocks, put on their clothes and left the forest by different routes. Now children, they turned their back now. They went to the rocks where their clothes was there. They wore their clothes and they left the forest by different routes. Okay, they did not left the forest, children, by the same route. They have left the forest by different routes. So now you can see. Now children, we have to do comprehension check. Okay, now I will be discussing some question and answer, and then we can continue with the lesson. Now my first question here is, in what way is the forest pool different from the one which Ranjit knew in Rajputana desert? Now children, Rajputana is a place which is known by the name of Rajasthan. It is a desert area, of course, sand is everywhere. In the Rajputana desert, the pools were sticky and muddy water were there. And children, the women used to wash the clothes, or buffalo used to wallows there in that pool. But forest pool was clean, cold, and it was inviting. So children, Ranji, when he saw this, because he had seen the pools of Rajputana which was full of mud, sticky mud, when he saw that nice cool water with cold, and that water was cold and inviting, he could not stop himself and he leapt into the water for swimming. Now the second question is, the other boy asked Ranjit to explain himself first. What did he expect Ranjit to say? The other boy, Suraj, expected Ranjit to say sorry. Now children, due to his sturdy built up, due to his good health, he wanted that Ranjit should say sorry to him. Now question number 2, the second part of question number 2, was he in your opinion right in wrong to ask this question? Suraj was a bully. He was not a good boy. He was wrong to prevent Ranjit from using the pool. The pool was common property. The pool is no one's property, it is a common property. We should never stop anybody from using pool or the river water. Now, third question. Between Ranjit and the other boy who is trying to start a quarrel, give a reason for your answer. So children, there two boys were there, so who really want to fight. So it is Suraj who really wanted to fight, who was the one who started the quarrel. He was the one who slapped with all his force to Ranjit. He asked Ranjit to run away from the pool. He even threatens to beat him if he will come the next day. Now, third question. It is Suraj who starts the quarrel. He asks Ranjit to run away from the pool. He even threatens to beat him. Suraj speaks the above word because he was tired, but he did not want to spare Ranjit, who refused to accept defeat. So he deferred the fight for the next day. Now he did not want to show that he did not want to lose. He did not want to show that he is a loser in the fight. So accepted his challenge and he was ready to come to fight for the next day. Fourth, second. Then we will have to continue the fight, said the other. What made him say that? Did the fight continue? If not, why not? No, the fight did not continue the next day. Both Suraj and Ranjit needed each other's help. So they compromised. Children, Suraj helped him he helped him by giving some tips of wrestling. But it was Ranjit, it was his greatness that after having got a slap, he was insulting him and speaking him in a very rude manner. Then also children, he invited him, he told that when he felt that he is not a good swimmer, he is not able to dive, it was Ranjit who told him, it was he who first offered him to teach. He told that I will tell you how to swim underwater and how to dive underwater. So it was his initiative. Due to his initiative, Suraj also helped him. He told that he will be teaching him some of the tips to fight. Now, then we will have to continue the fight, said the author. What make him say that? Suraj spoke the above words because he was tired, but he did not want to spare Ranjit, who refused to accept defeat. So he deferred the fight for the next day. Now, children, the second part of question number 4. Then we will have to continue the fight, said the other. Did the fight continue? If not, why not? No, the fight did not continue. The next day, both Suraj and Ranjit needed each other's help. Okay, so what help they needed? Ranjit, he helped him in teaching diving and how to swim underwater, while as children, Suraj also thought that he would be teaching some wrestler tips to him. So they compromised. Suraj asked Ranjit to teach him to dive and swim underwater, while Ranjit agreed to become a wrestler with the help of Suraj. So, what happened, children, that day? What happened? That he did not. Now they are at the pool, and why don't they continue the fight? So they told that they are at the pool, and children, this was the reason that the fight could not continue, because there was an agreement was there between them. Both agreed that Ranjit agreed to become a wrestler with the help of Suraj, and Suraj also thought that he would become a good swimmer with the help of Ranjit. So in this way, the fight did not continue. Instead of continuing the fight was stopped, and both were ready to help each other. So children, we have done the question also of page number 49. Now, children, some long question we can do that, like some of the long question, children. how the fight is started. So you have to write the summary of the first part. You have to write everything in it. All the points should be needed to be discussed here. Then we can say that who was the good fighter. So we have to tell equally, they were both equally brave. Okay. Now then we can still, one question can come in the wrong, that did the fight continued or not. So this type of long question can come, and that children we will discuss in my next one, the online class. And with this I end my video here. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.